computer. Okay, we are live. Hello, thank you, Ma, for gathering with us. I am a brand newbie to the Sangha, to everything. And so I ask these two beautiful souls to meet with me so I could ask them questions, and with the thought that perhaps if I have the questions, so do others. So forgive everyone listening, forgive my ignorance, because I'm really going all the way back to the beginning and asking for clarification on some things that maybe some of you already know and maybe you don't, but I so appreciate, I have such gratitude for your willingness and for Swamiji to be here with us. So Deborah, I'm only going to call you that for a second. I'm going to start with you. Tell us what your spiritual name is, and can you just quick tell us how you came to be a part of the Sangha and get your spiritual name?
Okay, well, actually, before I became Ma Nithya Balananda, I was Dr. Deborah Chance, and I'm a retired school administrator. And I was working 14 hours a day at a middle school where they were having bomb threats and fights just about every day. So I was extremely worn out and frustrated and exasperated. And I was looking for a way to rejuvenate my body, but also to bring peace to those kids because I saw them living a life filled with conflict. So I actually interviewed a teacher from India, and we hired her, and she brought me to Paramahamsa Sri Nityananda Swamiji. And I met him in Los Angeles, California. And I went to a program called Inner Awakening. I had arthritis in my hand so bad that I couldn't write with it. And my whole body felt like it was falling apart. I was 55 at the time. And in that program, he rejuvenated my body. My arthritis is completely gone. I'm now 68, and I feel like I have the body of a 45-year-old.
You do.
And my name, Balananda, actually means youthfulness, a revitalized youthful body.
How perfect. So he gave that to you?
Yes, he gave me that name. And he gave me that body too. So I was so excited to see that there's a solution for all stressful problems for both me and for those poor kids in the middle school.
Of course, and perfect. And this that you wear on your third eye, what is that called?
This is a traditional sign, and it's called the bindi. And the reason why women wear bindis is because there is an intra-organ. It's not an organ like the heart. It's called an intra-organ, and it's called the third eye. And many people have heard about that, but I have an awakened third eye. And one of the powers that I have that comes with an awakened third eye is reversal of aging.
Nice. Nice. Beautiful.
And you're looking younger and younger every day, Balananda.
Well, that's because I went back to doing Nirahara Samyama, which is another story.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm in the process right now. I'm doing it. And so one of the reasons I wanted to go a little earlier is because I'm feeling more, I need more rest. So thank you for meeting me a little earlier. But yes, I'm going through that process. Love it. So some of these you've already answered in your explanation. Can you give us in a sentence or two what you have gleaned most from your devotion to Swamiji?
Well, I've had a cognitive shift. I don't know what it's like to worry. I don't know what it's like to have stress. It's like my body and my mind is now in a different frequency. And because I'm living in that enlightenment, basically, I want to give that to the world. And that's why the Nityananda Sangha is so important to me, because I want to give this to you. I want to give it to the kids in every school all over the world, in every nation, because the Gurukul kids are living enlightenment too, and they're expressing multiple powers. They don't even need to study. They're able to gain information directly from that consciousness level that they're living in. And I've given them multiple IQ tests, and the majority of them are genius.
they're born, they're born enlightened beings. So we need to be prepared to guide them. Alicia, how about you? In a sentence or two, what have you gleaned most from your devotion to Swamiji?
So the most powerful things for me is what the transformation that's taken place in me is that inner silence and that detachment from emotions. I used to be a very emotional person. I would go, I would just feel the emotions of anywhere I went, or I would have a thought and it would trigger an emotion. And now I'm, even after I've been to many IAs, inner awakening programs, but after my first one, I was completely like wiped clean of so much inner chatter and emotions that had been really taking over my life and ruling how I made decisions and how I acted. And, and that goes along with the space of just being powerful, just having that powerfulness instilled in us, and always going back to those powerful cognitions, because that's ultimately, we are creating a reality every moment. And that's another thing, I just realized, I am really creating everything every moment. And it's such an empowering feeling to cognize that and to have the experience of that. So yeah, that's definitely, for me, it's been, the clearing of the past that's helped me become very still. And I used to have a lot of anxiety, and that's gone now. And just being in that powerful cognition and always being able to go back to powerfulness.
You too, and you're sharing. Speaking of emotional, it makes me emotional. It's so beautiful. So I want to share quickly, in the completion process that I did, I came to this Sangha through Ashim. First, he did a root pattern, and then he sent me to Niharika, and then I did that. And during that session, what started happening is I'd smell sweet incense. I'd be looking around like, where's that smell coming? Like, I literally was going to call my husband and, do you smell that? So, I would reach out to Ashim and he'd be like, that's Swamiji, that's Swamiji. And then one of the most amazing things was, I'm in sleep and someone is yelling my name, not yelling, but, persistent, Amy, 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 Amy. And so persistently that I literally eventually woke up. I sat up. I'm like, what? And then I heard the word Amrita. So then I'm messaging Ashim in the morning. So this is what happened. I think I'm crazy. And someone's yelling my name. And I finally sat up and said, what? And then they just said Amrita. And I had no idea what it meant. He's like, that's Swamiji. Tells me what, So I just wanted to share. I know everyone has their own experience of it, but I don't often share in the group, but I thought I would take this opportunity to share that. And then the other thing was, one time in my sleep, it was like all my thoughts, Alicia, you reminded me of this, my thoughts were running like before me as if I could, like I usually don't struggle that much with the monkey mind. I've done a lot of meditation, but I couldn't stop it. Just thought, almost like files. And I woke up so exhausted the next morning and like, oh my gosh, I must be going backwards. Message to Sheem, and he's like, no, that's just Swamiji going through your files. That's a good thing. And so then it totally turned it around, and then I didn't feel exhausted. I was like, yay. So anyway, those were 3 experiences that I've had.
And
So
do you see what you did with Ashim? That's what the Sangha is all about. That's why we want to encourage everybody to sign up and be in the Sangha,
right.
because it knits us together so closely. So that if people are struggling with arthritis, or they have heart disease, or have blood pressure, or they're inflexible, they need better yoga poses or better yoga instruction. For example, I'm great at giving modifications for couch yoga and chair yoga.
There you go. It's for
So,
everyone.
So it really gives us that ability to connect with each other.
I want to ask you one more question before I go into the Chandi Homa. So I want an answer from both of you. Just keep it brief because we only have so much time. But what does the world need most now, from your perspective?
Well, there's no doubt that what the world needs most is a cognitive shift,
Yes.
so that they realize that all disease and all mental hardship and all suffering and all pain is coming from one thing, and that is patterns. Patterns that are happening in your brain, that Dr. Daniel Amen, who is the leading psychiatrist in the field of SPECT scanning, shows that the regions in your brain where you continuously go is what creates those patterns of OCD and ADHD and bipolar and confusion and stress and all of that. And then there's this backlash of disease patterns in the body that result from those thinking patterns. So these ancient Vedic formulas that Swamiji is bringing to the world are going to annihilate that old school way of existing and bring in the new age and bring in the new you.
Awesome.
That's right.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that because, you know, like a lot of the way we think is based on, you know, the established Western psychology, but that's so limited. And what we really need is for people to understand that they are like the source of everything, like anything happening in their life, like Maldananda was saying, diseases, anything, is that they're the source of it. They're creating it every moment. And, you know, Swamiji is saying in the satsangs, you know, the world needs a super conscious breakthrough because we've been waiting, you know, how humans have been around for so long, but there hasn't been a shift. And I see, you know, the so much environmental degradation and things like that going on. And it's kind of scary what's happening, but definitely, you know, Swamiji is saying the super conscious breakthrough is what we need. And you know, that's why we're here. That's why we have the Sangha, is for all of us to do that, because we are going to be the examples for the rest of the world.
We are the ones we've been waiting for. And when we reach the tipping point, it only takes so many to do the tipping point, and then it's beautiful. Okay, so there was a post here in the group by Niharika about connecting to Devi through Chandi Homa as the best thing to do, she said. So this is what prompted me to reach out to you all, because I didn't understand any of it. And so let's start really super basic. Can you please explain to us who or what Devi is and encompasses? From my ignorance, I'm thinking Devi is the goddess, but I don't know, so help me out.
Yes, that's right. Devi is the feminine aspect of life, and Shiva is the masculine. But in fact, Shiva just is that consciousness value, and Devi is that value of action, taking action, of creating out of that consciousness. So when Shiva, which is consciousness or awareness, comes together with that highly intelligent creative resource, then the resource and the consciousness blend together to create what's called completion. And when those two energies come together in your body and in your mind, all disease patterns drop.
Like Shiva Shakti? No. That's
Shakti is Devi. Shakti is another name for Devi. So you got it.
I'm on board. Woohoo! And
Right.
Chandi Homa is a Vedic tantric fire ritual involving the grace of the cosmic feminine. Please explain what oblations are.
Okay. Do you want to, Alicia, do you want to talk?
I can give you that one. You can answer that one. I think you'd be better at answering that one.
Okay. Okay, so oblations are ritualistic mechanisms to... Uh-oh.
There you are.
All right. Sorry, I had a caller. I need to turn off my phone. To ignite that aspect of creative intelligence in the body mind. And the oblations are those sacrificial methodologies that are used in the Homa that are so meticulously done by the pujaris or the priest, the monks at the ashram. So they have actually silver instruments that are a particular gauge of silver. They're engraved a particular way. There's a Homa pit or a fire pit that is made by the particular dimensions according to the ancient traditional agamas. And these ritualistic maneuvers or oblations go back 60,000 years. So this particular Homa has a set of oblations that go along with a storyline of Devi, who is slaying a demon called Mahesh Asura. Now, Asura is basically a state of consciousness that is not in alignment with pure consciousness, with that bliss consciousness. So what that really means is that this whole 14-hour series of oblations that are done repetitively and are done ritualistically according to these agamic formulas bring about the ability in your neurons in your brain to start reflecting completion. And Devi is that energy of the mother who makes sure that you have these opportunities for completion. And since, you know, Devi is, I'm a Shakta, that means I worship Devi. And I've always done this before I even met Swamiji. I wanted everybody to participate in this Chandi Homa because I see the benefit and have experienced the benefit. And it happens so quickly because it's a formula that's almost like a magic bullet. And it immediately hits the target, which is those neurons in the brain. So you're not spending a lot of time blowing your nose or doing asanas or standing on your head. You're just being a recipient of those oblations.
Okay, so I'm going to say back what I heard just to make sure I've got it. So oblations are really just actions, symbolic objects and actions that assist this process. Yes?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So is Mahatmayam the name of the specific Devi referred to here?
That the Devi Mahatmyam is the book that is so many verses, and I'm not sure how many verses, but they are chanted by Ambananda, who is the pujari at the ashram. And you, as you're listening to that Homa, those sounds are actually going into your biomemory, into your body, and reflecting into the neurons of your brain. And that's the story. The Devi Mahatmyam is the story of Devi slaying that ignorance, that demon that is actually symbolic of ignorance.
So Mahatmam, that's the name of the story.
And you can Google that and read it. Yeah, it's translated
awesome.
into English.
And what is Rig Vajur and Samaveda?
Okay, the different books that are in the agamas they're select books that are on particular subjects, particular ways of worship. Samaveda is a way of worshiping and becoming one with the source through sound, through chanting sounds.
So that will be a part of this ritual.
Yes.
Samaveda is one part, and then Rig Vajur.
Yes, and I'm not exactly sure how to explain what that particular one is.
You know that one, Rig Vajur?
No, I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay,
unfortunately.
So we'll put that one aside because we're really rolling along here, and this is really helpful. So this is to be done after the Chandi Navavaranda Puja. First, please explain in simple terms what a puja is, and then specifically Chandi Navavarana and Chandi Homa. I think we covered the Chandi Homa, the fire ritual, but
yeah, I can explain what puja. Puja is like for example, when we do Guru Puja, it's like connecting with Swamiji and giving respects to Swamiji as our guru and showing our devotion to Swamiji through offering, like naivedyam, which is food, or offering dupa, which is the incense to Swamiji. So you can do pujas to different gods and goddesses of Hinduism, and so it's a devotional ritualistic offering. And the Guru Puja, most of us, in the Sangha, we are doing that every day. In the morning we do Guru Puja, one of the first things we do to show our gratitude to Swamiji. So it's a really great way to connect with the divine and be in oneness with the divine. And when you have a very intense puja experiences, like I had very intense experiences in puja before, where I felt I literally felt like Swamiji is sitting right in front of me. And I just felt all this kundalini come over, and I was in such bliss. It can put you in such beautiful states. And Swamiji is saying many times that, like puja sometimes is all you need. You just need to get into that space with the divine through the puja, and such a beautiful way to connect with the divine and realize then that you are also the divine.
So puja is, in the very simplest form, offerings.
Yes.
Yes.
So Alicia, give us an example. Like you say you do it every morning. What is a typical offering for you specifically, if you don't mind?
Well, the Guru Puja, we have, it's already written out, like the whole puja, the Sanskrit. Okay. So like if you've done it many times, like I've been in the Sangha many years, so it's sort of memorized in my mind, the Sanskrit. And, it goes through offering flowers, offering water for the washing hands, offering water to wash the feet, offering water for drinking, offering food, all different things, which is part of the puja.
Okay.
So, yeah. So the puja kit is something all Sangha members can get, actually. You can request it. Okay. At one point that you could request it, they would mail it to you. I'm not sure what's going on now, but yeah.
I know that. So you can point me in that direction afterwards. Let me know how I can get that. So Chandi Navavarana, is that something else? What is
now
that?
You see, what you have to understand is that this whole Homa is in stages, so that it starts out with the offering, the oblations, or the puja, the offerings to the Guru, because it is the Guru just means one who removes the darkness and brings us into the light. So all of these rituals that are being named, the Yajurveda and the all of these are shastras. They're all weapons, knowledge weapons that are chanted so that it brings us into alignment with source. And really understanding it intellectually is not as important as the experience of it. Because like you said, when you're doing a puja or when you're offering a flower, and it's, you're even shown how to offer the flower, putting the left hand and putting the right hand on top, or drinking the water. And as we're doing it in yoga, we hold the hand like this, and then it forms a little place in the middle, and we drink the water like this, and then put it over the top of the head. All of these movements are actually orchestrated and synchronized with the way that these movements are made to create completion and wholeness in the physiology. Yeah. So that every aspect of this ritual is pressing those wholeness buttons, just like little, shiatsu points. Just every little bit of it is just like a droplet of bliss, pressing that into every aspect of your body mind.
And what's beautiful is, I agree with you, therein lies the hesitation to do this and explain everything and just do it. However, I already have a deep knowing. We have a deep knowing within us of all of this already. But to connect it with a little bit of understanding is just helpful. Does that make sense?
Yes, and I'm just dying to say this one thing. And that is that Swamiji is meeting with us on Saturday night, and we were with him for 3 hours this past Saturday night. Was that not amazing, Alicia?
Yeah, he was there the whole time.
And this new Sangha software, he's going to be reading our homework and giving us feedback. So now we have the closest connection to him we have ever had. So this opportunity for Sangha to get direct guidance from the Guru without having to get in a plane and go to India.
Are you saying through this Chandi Homa or through the Jira?
She's talking about Jira.
Okay. Yeah, I'm talking really about through Sangha. If you sign up for Sangha, and this whole Jira thing, I think we ought to avoid talking about that because it's complicated right now. But we're encouraging people to join the Sangha, and of course the Chandi Homa is an aspect of really having an immersion experience in that alignment with cosmos. But joining the Sangha is something that will go beyond just the Chandi Homa. It will take you into that complete experience of having interaction with Swamiji himself. And that's
exciting. When you say join the Sangha, like what do you mean? Apart from filling out the form for the Chandi Homa and donating, like, is there another way to join the?
Yeah, when you fill out the form for the Chandi Homa, it says Are you a Tanadar?
Yeah, we'll get to that. I don't want to jump ahead. Hold
Okay.
on. So when Niharika says these are a sure shot that never fails, I'm just quoting her. What does that mean to you? Alicia, what does that mean to you when she says that?
She's talking about the Chandi Homa, right? So basically, it's saying that, like this Chandi Homa is one of the most powerful homas. So if your name is chanted and you are receiving the blessings, like it's sure shot. It's not going to fail for that completion to happen within you. So it's great if everybody, who's doing this Chandi Homa, like holds an intention of everything they want to complete, and keep that intention. That I think that would be great. I think people are going to see transformation happening and have a beautiful experience. And I'm excited because it's going to be my first time. And yeah, it's such a great opportunity because that Swamiji is providing us that, we can be part of the song, join the Sangha and do this Chandi Homa. It's going to bring completion to us and bring us all together. And the most beautiful part about connecting with Swamiji, one of the most beautiful things is the Sangha. So if you're not exactly part of the Sangha yet, or if you decide not to be part of the Sangha, right, it's like you're kind of missing a component of Swamiji, because Swamiji exists in like 1/3 everywhere, 1/3 in the body and 1/3 in the Sangha. Right. So yeah.
Which is why I'm initiating this, because I'm perceiving that I'm not the only one that Swamiji is reaching beyond, just those in India, or just even Hindus, because I, wasn't. And so as more and more of us come in and have no understanding, and so then we're missing things, that's why I'm doing this and why I'm so grateful. So I want you to see the, I don't know, importance of if you will, of you taking time to do this, and what it does to bring those together. That, it's like you're speaking Greek, it's like you're literally speaking a different language. And so we are kind of on the outside. We're getting experience, but we might be missing things because we just don't know. So why are we being asked to sponsor, and what does it mean to sponsor this ritual?
Okay, so are you talking about like donating as part of the Sangha?
Yeah, I guess that's what.
Okay, yeah, because to be a part of the Homa, it's like you are you're making a donation so that your name is chanted along with the Sangha, and it's any amount. Right. So it's an amazing opportunity, because normally it has not really, this opportunity hasn't happened before, where you could just, whatever you can offer, you give for the Chandi Homa to Devi, and you get the benefits. So it's a gift actually to us. So it's like, okay, we're sponsoring, but it's actually we're receiving a gift.
Yes. So
yeah.
And I totally get that. Know that I get that when I ask the next question. Where do the funds go that are collected for the ritual? Because I've had people on the outside ask me this, and I would like to answer it intelligently. Or
this specifically we wouldn't know, because like the accounts department will handle, but like I can imagine it's going to go to running Swamiji's mission. Of course, what else would it go to, right?
Right. That's what I assumed. But yeah, sometimes it's nice to disclose that. I don't need to say more. So as a Sangha, we can all participate for 20,000 as a group, she said. And so I was calculating, there's 226 members in that group that she posted. So if everyone contributed 88, we'd be able to participate. But you were saying, Alicia, we can donate any amount. But what happens if we don't reach the goal of 20,000?
I think we will. I think for each
No, we already
I
have.
think we're fine.
We've already met the goal.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not just Mani Harika's group. It's like that's like an international group. We have a lot of Sangha members throughout the East Coast that have already given. So
perfect. Okay.
And really, I gave the amount that I gave because I wanted to make it available to other people. That was my direct intention. I wanted as many people to get on this train that's running down that track toward experiencing this unbelievable state of consciousness. And it's the quickest way to do it. And so why not give an opportunity to everybody?
Right. And even though I asked, I sort of assume, we assume that it will happen because that's how it just works, right? It's just
Yeah.
how. So what happens for those who participate? How do they receive the benefits Swamiji offers specifically, if it is specific, if there's anything to answer that, or what comes to you when I ask that?
It's like a blessing.
Okay.
I think it's gonna, I wouldn't have like huge expectations like, okay, this is what I want to happen. I mean, maybe it will, write down like what you want to manifest in your life and take responsibility for it. But like you're receiving the blessings of completion from Devi in many aspects of your life, health, wealth, relationships, and beyond. So, it's not like it's something that can be measured. It's sort of, and just remember, you are the creator of your reality. So you are also in control of what blessings you receive.
Yes. I'm so glad you said that. That's a good.
Yeah. So yeah, it's, I would just, you know, just say, I want $1 million to land in my bank account tomorrow. Yes, it can happen. Things like that have happened to people, but just be, don't have like, if it doesn't happen, then be like, oh my gosh, my blessing didn't come or anything like that. It's not like that. It's like, it's receiving a blessing, but you have to also just hold the intention for what you want to manifest and take responsibility for it. But it's receiving that blessing for, maybe conflicts to go away, to completion to happen, so you can manifest more and more of the things that you want and the person you want to become.
And I'm honestly, it can come in so many different ways. It's innumerable. What's happening to me already, because my context is giving to others.
Right.
I'm becoming more like a mother. I'm feeling more motherly toward myself. My energy level has gone up by, I'd say, 60 or 70%. And I have been working. I'm writing a book. I wrote 10 times more today than I wrote yesterday, and I'm expecting to write 10 times more tomorrow. So that it's, the blessing is already happening to me because I'm holding this context of wanting to give to others and bring our Sangha together. And it's just, I'm being showered with benefits already.
Right. The lesson being that, of course, there is no wrong desire to ask for. However, to the extent you're in alignment with the greater good, it's just that much juicier and yummier, right?
Exactly.
For me, I'll just share, just because this is a community and I want others to know me and I want to know others. For me, my intent for this is to be of greater service to others, to be a clear channel of service to others. And my husband and I want to bring an enlightened being into the world. So those are the two things.
Tatasu.
And it opens my heart to share it with you. It's why I'm doing it. It's like, it makes me feel vulnerable, but in sharing it, it opens my heart. So I just feel to do that. Okay, what's next? Now I want logistics. So she said we will be sponsoring for one day. Daily, it's from 5 to 10. Will we need or want to be present remotely for this day? Is that being offered? Can you explain logistics of what's going to happen, or do we know?
Yes.
As far as I know, we're getting two-way connections, all of us.
Okay.
So, and it's going to start in the evening for us on the 16th. For the East Coast, it'll be the 16th evening.
16th.
The exact timing, I'm not sure. I think they're going to let us know.
Is that like tomorrow? As in October 16th?
Actually, yeah, it's tomorrow.
Right. So will there be some sort of announcement of what to do, where to go, how to, I'll count on you two to let me know.
We'll let you know when we know.
Yeah. I filled out the form, but I don't think I've got the email back to like do the donation. So I feel like I don't know, like, am I in? What's happening? You know what I'm saying?
We'll discuss more of that after we finish our talking, but we can give you the right person to go to get those answers.
Okay, great. What is Nitya Sumangali Puja and Kanya Puja? They were mentioned in her post. We don't know. Okay.
Don't know.
Can you please define the terms used for the indication of here's what you started to say before. When it asks you what I am currently as, and there's Tanadar, Chief Tanadar, Kathari, Chief, all of those. Do we have explanations for those? How would we know what to indicate?
Well, we start out as Tanadars. If you're part of the Sangha, that's the first, place that you start out with. And that is just volunteering. Basically, you get the benefit of being in the Sangha and learning so much about unclutching and learning about being healthier and having these amazing cognitive shifts. So you design your own project and decide about how you're going to enrich the world with this knowledge. And Alicia can tell you a little bit more too.
So when you say decide, you become a Tanadar just by joining the Sangha, and that's just the entry level.
Yes.
And when you say you decide, is there somewhere where we delineate that, or we're offered options, or what does that look like?
Well, if you want to be a member of the Sangha, then you sign up as a Tanadar and you decide whether you want to do this or not.
Right. The different titles is like things that we will be sort of quote promoted to, I guess, if it was not a Thanadar, if you were a different, like a Mahant or something, like Swamiji would tell you to become a Mahant if he wanted you to become a Mahant. So, but everyone just starts off as Thanadar.
So Swamiji makes the decisions about kind of going up that ladder.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Based on, what you're exhibiting within the community.
Right.
Awesome. So that answers my last question. So those are my questions. Is there anything coming to you that's arising for you to be shared that Swamiji is asking you to share further other than what I asked?
There's just nothing more important than bringing enlightened living into your own life and enriching others with enlightened living. Because it's like being in a new life. It's like a rebirth.
What else is there? What else would you do?
Well, I mean, my gosh, why suffer when you can be living enlightenment? So bringing a child into the world that is living on this level of complete alignment with Source and exhibiting these powers, the space and the powers of Source, is going to enliven the whole world. It's going to have an effect on the environment, on the political, economic, structure of everything in existence. So we want to have this happen as quickly as possible. We want to go from what's called Kali Yuga, which is the age of quarrel and the age of violence and confusion, which is the one we're in now, to Satya Yuga, which is called the age of truthfulness. And the truth is coming from your own experience of it through this inner cognitive shift and all the knowledge now of these rituals and of these different forms of yoga and the books that you can read and all of the different things, puja, all the things you can do to create that space for you are available now through our Guru Paramahamsa Sri Nityananda. So I'm so thankful.
Alicia, anything arising for you to share?
Yeah, like being part of the Sangha, joining the Sangha has transformed me so much. And so I really highly recommend everybody who is connected to Swamiji, if it's not just volunteering and helping others, it's helping yourself too.
Right.
So like it's part of your spiritual growth and evolution to join the Sangha, and you will get so much growth will happen through the opportunity Swamiji provides. And he provides so many amazing opportunities to do so many things that you wouldn't have the opportunity to do maybe in the outside world. I mean, in the regular matrix, right? And it definitely has evolved me so much. So I highly recommend it to everybody as part of your spiritual practice. If you're really engaged in elevating yourself, become part of the Sangha, and you take up responsibility as you can. And it's not like some people think, I don't have time for that. But no, we have time to watch the satsang, right? We have time to go to a completion session. So we have time to do a little bit every day. which is enriching others and enriching ourselves.
Right.
So it's going to help us.
We have time to do what we value. There's always more
Exactly.
than enough time to do what we value. Yes, for me, I've come to a space where there's nothing else. Like, what else is there? And I understand that not everyone's there, but I've come to the space where, okay, if I'm going to be here, what is there other than to be of service to others, which is service to myself, because all other selves are me, right? So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be a part of this community that's the whole deal, right? That's the whole deal. And I just want you to know how much I love you and how grateful I am to you, to Swamiji. So anything else? Oh, just in case you have an insider. So what do you call it? What do you call it that he does? Like, Alicia, you said he came to the States and you got to do a program with him for the first time. And there's always one in December. There's one coming up. What do you call that?
Every December, Swamiji comes out with something new, which he
Oh,
presents. And so this year it's Padma Shivoham. Last year it was Mahasada Shivoham. Previously it was Sada Shivoham. It's like, he comes out with something new every year, and it's always been presented since that started, that trend has started. He's, he goes into Samadhi, downloads new information, and then presents it to
right.
all those lucky people at that first program in December.
So it's like
So
a program. It's a program where you have the opportunity to really do a deep dive. Yeah.
oh yeah, definitely. And so people that have been to multiple programs, they want to go back. We want to go back to the December program because it's going to be a new experience for us
Yeah,
on
I
a
would
on a
love to.
higher level.
Asking Swamiji to allow that money to show up. So do we know where it is yet, or they haven't announced it?
No, we don't know yet.
Okay.
We're still waiting to find out the details. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Well, I've asked all my questions. So if that's it, maybe we can end with the prayer that I didn't know, but the mantra I knew. We can all do that together. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Maybe 3 times or something like that.
Okay.
Go ahead and I'll join in.
Om
Om
Nityananda
Shivoham.
Paramashivoham.
Om
Nityananda
Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham.
Om
Om Nityananda
Paramashivoham.
Paramashivoham.
Thank you.
Nityanandam.
Nityanandam. Okay, I'll get the recording and post it on the group. Thank you for being here.
All right.
Thank you.